Hello everybody, welcome to another video from Laura the Love Coach. So today I want to talk about standards and why you should have them. So for the ladies out there especially, sometimes when you meet somebody you always want to be nice, right? And you want that person to like you. So a lot of times we give up our standards or we let things slide that we really shouldn't let slide. Like for example, if you meet someone and maybe they call you late at night and you don't usually like to answer calls that late at night, be like, oh, this is a new guy I'm dating, so let me just answer his call. Or he gives you very short notice to see you, like he's like, okay, he calls you up and says, hey, can we go out tonight? Or he might have told you in the beginning, hey, I don't like to make plans. I'm very spontaneous. I actually had a ex-boyfriend who used to tell me that. He told me that in the beginning. He's like, oh, I don't like to make plans. I'm very spontaneous. And I just went along with it. Instead of saying, oh, well, I do like to make plans and I don't really like to be that spontaneous. So if you want to see me, you're going to have to make plans. The thing is, people will tell you what they want, but it's not necessarily, that doesn't mean they're not going to do what you want. They're not going to change it a little bit, right? Because we all have, things that are easy. And that's the easy way, is to call at the last minute and say, oh, I'm free now, I have nothing else going on, so let me come and see you. So it's very easy for a man to do that, or for even a woman to do that and say, I'll just call him at the last minute. But if you put your foot down and say, you know what, I'm just not the last minute kind of person. I have plans, or I just don't like to go out last minute. He'll change that. He'll be like, you know what, I really want to see this girl. I really like her. She's amazing. She's awesome. I gotta change the way I'm coming about it in order to see her. But you gotta do it right away. It's definitely something you want to do in the beginning. And you don't want to give in just because you like him. You're like, oh, I really like this guy. I want to see him really bad. He's spontaneous. That's amazing. They'll tell you things in the beginning, like, I don't like to do this, I don't like to do that. But you got to come back with them and say, you know what, I like to do this and I like to do that. So maybe this isn't going to work. Or you could say that right away, even if you like the guy. And sometimes they'll see that you're interested in them, and that's when they'll come out with these things. Like one guy used to say to me, oh, I don't like to go out to dinner. I don't like to do this. I was like, well, I really like to go to dinner. That's something I like to do. And we were at dinner when he said that too. So I was like, well, if you don't like dinner, then maybe you should be looking for somebody else. And right away he was like, no, 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 we can do it. It's okay. I was just, it's just not something I normally do, but I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. And you see how his whole demeanor changed, because he really wanted to see me. He was just throwing it out there. And I think a lot of men do that, and a lot of women do that. They'll just throw stuff out there and see what sticks. And be like, okay, let me say that, see if that sticks. Let me say this, see if it sticks. No dinner, stick. Oh, that one fell off the wall. Oh well. Okay, this stick. Nope. Oh, that one fell off the wall too. Oh, this one stuck. Okay, cool. So we'll do that, right? We'll only go to my place for dates or something like that, right? So you have to look at those things and have those standards for yourself, because it's really important that you have that value for yourself and that you don't get so wrapped up in another person. Because we do that. We're human, we have feelings, and we meet someone and we're like, oh, this guy's everything I want. He's amazing. Let me just, and it's not a conscious thought to say, okay, let me just break all my standards and do anything for this guy. You're not thinking of that. Okay, I'm going to do this. You're just like, I really like this guy, and you automatically are going to agree with him on certain things and be like, and just let him get away with things. But once you let that person get away with things, they'll keep trying to get away with things. It's just like a child. Once you let that child get away with one thing, he's going to try to get away with it again and again and again and more things, and until it grows where he has his way with you. And that's the same thing with a man or a woman. This is for ladies, and this is for men as well. When you lower your standards and let these people get away with things, they will keep doing it. They won't stop. They will keep trying to get away with more and more and more and more and more until you're frustrated and like, why are you doing this to me? And then it becomes a huge battle where your emotions are high or charged, and you're both fighting over these things. In the meantime, you could have avoided all of that pain and all of that that argument by just stating your standards. Okay, you don't like to go out to dinner? Well, maybe I'm not for you then, because I really like to go out to dinner. And if you want to be with me, that's just something we have to do. That's something I like to do. So, we don't have to go out with each other anymore. We can just go our separate ways. And you have to be able to walk away and say, there's someone better out there for me. If this person really doesn't want to do the things I want to do, I have to look for someone better. So that's definitely something that you have to think about when you are dating, and not get so emotionally wrapped up. I mean, I've had some dates where they were mediocre, and then I've had some dates that were amazing, right? And who's to say that the mediocre date, the person who was mediocre wasn't more fit for me? He could have been more fit for me. But the amazing date is the one that I saw, and I was like, oh, this guy's amazing. Everything went right. This date was amazing. Let me just, and then you just fall in love with that person very easily. I mean, you're not in love, but you really like that person. You feel a connection with that person. So then you start lowering your standards because you think that person's so amazing, they must be right, and you just kind of let it happen. Well, I really want to see this person, and if this is the only way he could see me, then I'll lower my standards. But meanwhile, if you had just told your standards to him, he would go around them. Maybe you want to go around him every single time, but most of the time you'd be like, okay, if that's the only way I could see you, then I'll do it this way, instead of giving in all the time. So standards, ladies and gentlemen, are very important in a relationship. Don't give in all the time. I mean, you can compromise some of the time. There's, a time and place for everything. But don't give in all the time. Okay? Especially late night dates, like or calls very late at night. I mean, I used to do that all the time. I'd answer calls like at 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, why am I answering these calls? I mean, I'm tired. I'm going, I have to work in the next morning. But that person doesn't care because he's just like, oh, okay, I'm calling her at 11 o'clock. She always answers. So he doesn't know that you don't like that. And then you may get in a big fight about it later on. Meanwhile, you haven't told him that you don't like that. So tell him in the best way you can. Don't answer the call. And call back the next day and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your call. Or I was sleeping last night. I really don't answer the phone after 11 o'clock. Do that a couple times, and then he won't call you at 11 o'clock anymore. He'll respect your time. He'll ask you when is a good time to call. So anyway, today, that is my short video on standards. Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah. So again, my name is Laura the Love Coach. My email is TheRelationshipGal at gmail.com. I'm going to put it in the description. You can also send me in your emails. You can, if you could like and comments, give me some comments, guys. Tell me what you want to hear in future videos. All those kind of things you want to talk about, women and men. Okay, I'm not discriminatory. Whoever wants to ask questions, give me some topics to talk about, because I'd like to keep making videos. And if you want to support my course so I can keep making videos for you, you can donate to my PayPal. I'll also put that in the link. And as always, have a wonderful and amazing day. Thanks, guys.